another day of Bitcoin above $100,000. How does it feel? We've also got Michael Saylor making a huge announcement about burning his entire Bitcoin collection, and something even more dramatic, which we're going to cover off too. We're also going to speak about the Trump inauguration, which is just over 13 days away. What impact is this going to have on the markets? Could it be a pump? Could it be a dump? I'm going to break down my thoughts on the Trump inauguration. But first, let's take a look at the markets. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. We're on a journey towards 20,000 subscribers, currently here at 18,600, as you can see at the top of the screen. Do me a favor, smash up the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And we're going to talk about Saylor, we're talking about Trump, and a lot more. First and foremost, let's check in on the US market. A positive day so far, and Bitcoin remains here above 100,000, but a little bit of a shine taken away, just falling here slightly, down 1.5% here so far today, with another 10 hours to go for this daily candle. Of course, yesterday was a really important big candle here, 4% day. We're going to want to build on this. We need that higher high, right? We managed to get the higher high above this, which is great. We broke this downward trend, but now there still is a bigger downward trend, right? If I was to draw a line like this and a line like this, that's a downtrend. That's what we need to get out of, and that's going to happen for us breaking this trend, right? Getting out of this cycle, coming up here, creating a higher high above this, etc. and etc. Off we go. Now, if you want to trade altcoins with me, I'm actively trading altcoins. Just posted a new altcoin trade today as well. Ijazcrypto.com/TG. It's the very first link in the description. Come and trade with us. Now, on to Michael Saylor coming up with a crazy proposal here about burning Bitcoin keys. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, my thoughts on this are a little bit mixed. So, this is what he said. MicroStrategy chairman Michael Saylor proposes burning Bitcoin private keys after death to permanently remove coins from circulation, boosting Bitcoin scarcity. With a fixed supply of 21 million coins, Bitcoin's value thrives on limited availability. Saylor's idea could tighten the circulating supply, mirroring the impact of dormant coins like Satoshi Nakamoto's 1 million BTC. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Get in the comments below. What do you think about this? I want this to be interactive, guys. So let me know in the comments. Are you pro Saylor on this proposal, or are you against it? Weigh in the comments. My thoughts on this. Look, I understand why it might make sense for him. I mean, his Bitcoin is owned by the company. After he's done, maybe it doesn't matter to him, etc., etc. For the average person, does this make sense? No. I would hazard to say no, it doesn't make sense, right? Many people want to hold Bitcoin to pass it down to future generations. They don't trust fiat currency. They certainly don't want to be handing over dollars or GBP or euro to their kids once they pass. And many have tried using gold, right? We know that one of the, particularly in third world countries, one of the biggest ways that families pass down wealth is through passing on gold to family members. And a lot of people are starting to think that Bitcoin is the better vehicle of doing that. So if this was the thing that you were going to burn Bitcoin keys for long-term scarcity, then look, I don't think everybody's going to be up for that. And that being said, I think it could be a movement amongst, rich people like Michael Saylor, right? Like you remember Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all these guys signing up to giving away half their wealth. Maybe this could be a pledge that they could do. For people who've got more than enough money for their families, etc., for many generations, maybe yes, maybe it's a good proposal for these kind of guys to burn their Bitcoin as an act of charity on their passing. But again, I don't see it being a widespread thing. That being said, technically, of course, it's going to improve the circulating supply, right? It's going to take Bitcoin out of circulation. We know there's 21 million coins. That's never going to change. But at the same time, we know, Satoshi himself has 1 million Bitcoin that's never moved. We probably estimate another 2, maybe 3 million Bitcoin have been lost through people losing their private keys. So really, you're looking at 17 to 18 million Bitcoin in circulating supply. So of course, reducing that even further is only going to increase price and increase demand for the scarcest asset known to man. So that was Michael Saylor's proposal. Again, weigh in the comments. Let me know what are your thoughts on what he's proposing here. Okay, now let's move on to Trump. When is Trump going to get elected? Well, first and foremost, we need to take a look at what the Constitution says, which is that this used to be on March the 4th. Then in 1933, they changed it to January the 20th. So it always has to be January the 20th. The only exception to Trump not getting inaugurated on January the 20th is if January the 20th falls on a Sunday, it can move to the 21st. But that's not the case this year, okay? January the 20th falls on a Monday, so that is the day we expect Trump to be inaugurated. So the conversation now moves on to, do we think it will be a big pump for crypto? Do we see that candlestick, raging through and breaking past 110,000 on Bitcoin and leading onwards? Or could we see the opposite? And that's what I wanted to warn you of today, which is, don't be surprised if we see a bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Anytime you have these big moments in crypto, or in any asset class, I learned this in the stock market when I was first learning how to trade. You get this phenomenon called buy the rumor, sell the news. And in other words, what that basically means is that it's a bit anticlimactic. Markets are expecting something to happen, and investors have to price it in early. Remember, money is made by investors when they see alpha in the market. Alpha meaning they know something that the mass doesn't know, and therefore they're able to take a position to see that gain. By now, everybody is expecting crypto to do when Trump gone in, and you can see that the pump's already started, right? The pump started after the election. We saw all of that back in November. Once he won the election, that's when the excitement in the market started. And so the question now is going to be, is it just going to be anticlimactic? Are we going to see this run continue, or is it going to start to collapse? My view is that we will see some anticlimactic kind of dump post-inauguration. I think that's natural. I think we will see some more power leading up to January the 20th. I think we'll get a strong period over the next 13 days. Of course, there'll be volatility and some red days within that, but I think it'll be a strong 2 weeks leading up to the Trump inauguration. I think people are going to want to take long positions. I think traders are going to be taking positions. There'll be a lot of leverage in the system, and I think the bias will be long leading up to the Trump inauguration. Post that, we could even see a continued move as he's speaking, as he's getting inaugurated, but I just think there'll be a dump. I think there'll be some profit taking. I think there'll be people shorting from the top as well, and I think a lot of the liquidations levels are going to build below. I believe we're going to get a lot of liquidation levels kind of building up in this territory, and the market makers will want to go and grab that down towards 90k, down towards 92, and maybe even a little bit lower as well. So I'll be positioning myself, getting ready to buy the dip if we get the eventuality that we want to fall, but if we don't, then that's absolutely fine. We'll let this move to the upside. That's my view on it. I think we'll continue to get excitement leading up to it, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of, some of that adrenaline come down, some of the long starting to close, the short-term traders closing their position, and that leading to a bit of red candlesticks. It's important at that point for us not to panic, right? I think a lot of people panic during a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Whether you see this with altcoins, whether you see this with Bitcoin, there's no need to panic. You've got to understand that medium to long term, Trump being in power is pro-Bitcoin, right? It's better than the alternative, which was, Biden. And so regardless of your political stance, as crypto investors, which is what we're focusing on here in this channel, it's better to have Trump in. And therefore the bias 6 to 12 months and onwards, remember it's a 4-year term he's running, is a positive term. And I think Michael Saylor, seeing we're talking about Michael Saylor in this video anyway, spoke about it best in one of his interviews. He said, look, if Biden would have been in power, crypto and altcoins would have continued to grind higher. I think there's no stopping the crypto trade. But with Trump, you've got more chance of it being more explosive. And I think that's what eventually enabled Bitcoin to storm through 100,000 here, right? It was the fact that Trump has come into power, and that's given the markets a little bit more impetus. So there you have it, guys. There's my take on what's going on in the market. What do you think of Saylor's proposal? Let me know in the comments below. Also weigh in on whether you think the markets will dump post Trump's inauguration. I want to hear it from you. Dump or pump? Put it in capital letters below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. That really does support the channel. I've been making content here for a good couple of years now just to support you guys, sharing my research, sharing my insights, and doing it completely for free. So if you guys value this, hit up the like button, hit up the subscribe button. Make sure you tune in every single day for more crypto alpha. It's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year. This is the year you're not going to want to get distracted away from crypto. You're not going to want to let your friend distract you on something else and jump into real estate and try some e-commerce and do some drop shipping and 100 other things. If you want to be in crypto, be in crypto. If not, Go do that other thing. Nobody ever does well just, meddling between multiple different things. Focus on one, dial in, and make it happen. The fact of the matter is, millionaires will be created this year in crypto, whether you focus or not. Hopefully you appreciate this video. If you like this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. I'm going to plead for you one more time to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.